video yesterday to discuss and go over this. Turns out the video I had made yesterday about my opinion ended up becoming invalid. Therefore, I thought the video, based on getting an average views of 20 to 30,000 views a video on this channel, I thought would not be the appropriate message with the appropriate information. I made the decision to cancel yesterday's video on what I felt was going on with the Eternal Masters reprint. Today I give you what I thought was happening, and then I transition to something happened. So, originally, I thought Wizards and Magic, their sales are down so much, they are not maintaining their 25% growth. I felt that this was leading to the Eternal Masters reprint, a cash grab, and absolutely we continue down the rabbit hole of problems. Turns out that wasn't true. What I thought was true ended up not being true. Because something happened. And there's certain moments in your life when you realize that, when you work at a job, a career, you make YouTube videos, there are those moments in life, you get a couple of them, and you feel them when they come. And for me on this channel, this is one of those videos and those moments that I can pretty much assure that my instinct that I will never be on Wizards of the Coast friends list. And they will not like me probably after this moving forward. And I'm going to hold hands with Jeremy and go frolic in the park in our exiled list, because this is probably going to rub some people the wrong way. So I originally thought that, damn, Kaladesh sales was so damn weak that they needed something to hit the growth in the top line revenue numbers for Magic the Gathering. I said, wow. I mean, I knew Kaladesh sales had been weak, but I was just like, oh my god, an Eternal Masters reprint right before the new Modern Masters in a couple months? Are you shitting me? Holy crap. I mean, that must be some serious turn. Click that ratchet one more tick. Turn the screw one more time on the executives and the boards that handle the Magic and Wizards from... I mean, Hasbro must be kicking them down the street. And I said, wow. Wow. So, I was thinking about it and everything, and about this, and I was like, man, I do remember Eternal Masters came out, there was one little wave, and everybody still supposed to be, the typical second wave restock. It didn't happen, and it went out of print, and people were furious. Furious! As everybody can already tell in this video, if you don't like me and you're bored of what I'm talking about, you can at least stare at the eye candy in the background. And as you can see, there's no Eternal Masters boxes in this video. There are zero, because I don't have a single Eternal Masters sealed booster box. Why? Because Eternal Masters came out, I got like 50 boxes. Well, I pretty much opened most of them, sold a few locally to friends and some very loyal people that deserved to get it. And, you guys have seen my opening and you saw the results. You guys remember that. It's on my channel. You can look at the history. So, I don't have any sealed boxes of Eternal Masters because the second wave never came. And now everyone is freaking out because I'm looking in the distance and guess what I see? The big white knight holding a huge flag that says Magic is the savior and is for the fucking people. And here he comes riding in the distance. And this white knight is so impressive. He has flight and he's jumping over that reserved list moat. And here he is coming in to save the day for the holidays. And that's how beautiful Wizards and corporate executives operate. This may be, hands down, the most impressive set of misdirection and executed public perception and public feel of how they are pulling this off I have probably ever seen in maybe since the Great Recession of '08. I don't think I've ever seen something so gorgeous, beautifully executed as I'm seeing right now. Everything about it. The wording of the press release about we're doing a reprint of Eternal Masters. We want it to be in the hands of the players in the draft by nicely saying we don't want investors to hoard the boxes. Yeah, like they really can control that shit. You know, and I thought to myself, oh my god, this is unbelievable. Their sales are down, the player base is weakening, modern prices are tanking. Hell, even reserved list cards and Power 9 card, everything is weak. $1,000 near mint workshops, Mishra's workshops that were selling 4 or 5 months ago are selling now for 700-800, down 20%. Many other reserved list cards and dual lands and things are buying and selling wholesale. They're down 20-30%. And I'm thinking to myself, whoa, they really are experiencing a slowdown. And I was going to make a video on this yesterday. And I did make the video yesterday. And my video was going to be cautioning everybody about the weakening of the Magic secondary market and the potential of Wizards to fully destabilize and fully derail the hype train that is Magic over the long term. Because Wizards can't see past the next 4 or 5 train stops over the next 4 or 5 stops. They don't care about long term. They are strictly short term. They are getting crushed with numbers and slowing growth rate, which happens to everything. It happens to Apple after you sell hundreds of billions of iPhones. You eventually hit that point where 20+% double-digit growth is theoretically, you cannot contain exponential growth. You cannot continue to go parabolic. You will level out. Everything in the world levels out and stabilizes. So I wanted to go back. So I thought to myself, okay, this is what happened. Modern Masters Original comes out in 2013. They do a nice wave, release it. Does great. The market does backflips. Then there's a second wave, about equal size. All the stores, distributors, LGS, WPNs, all this crap. Does great. The set is great, and because of the good strength in the original Modern Masters and diversity of commons, uncommons, rares, and mythics, the original Modern Master boxes hold around $450 retail per box. 2 years later, Modern Masters 2015 comes out. It releases. They do increase the print run. Probably, I don't know the exact numbers, I would guess maybe 50%. So, Modern Masters 2015 does well. Sells out everywhere. Gets a little bit of community backlash because the common, uncommon slots, it's pretty much what they say, Tarmogoyf or bust, or, something, well, I guess now, Noble Hierarch or bust. Things like that. They do this typical. Guess what happens next? A few weeks later, the second wave hits. Most stores, distributors, and everything. They keep a few, they sell a few, they draft a few, blah, blah, blah. Same as always. Eternal Masters comes around. First wave comes out. The market goes bananas. Shit goes crazy. People just lose it. And I'm sitting here going, wow, holy crap, these are going to be $500 booster boxes. I mean, good lord, Force of Will, Mana Crypt, the foil Force of Wills, and just holy smokes. And then the uncommons. Oh my god, all the uncommons between the Factory and the Cabal Therapy and there's so many. And I thought, this is incredible. This is going to be great. And then I said, okay, well, I'll open my boxes. We'll sell them locally. We'll actually do some giveaways. We open them all, sold singles, blah, blah, blah. You can look at my old videos. You can see it. So I thought, this is great. And then, the second wave will come, and then, we'll maybe sit on a few or continue to sell them depending on market conditions. Second wave never came. And they cut off print. They cut off production, print run, whatever you want to call it. Wizards pretty much turned the faucet off. And the market did backflips. People were furious. The end of days had approached. I'm talking literally, it was just bad. It was just bad, and people were everybody was just so angry about the extreme low production. But Wizards did that on purpose because they knew the effect of hitting older cards and the ability for the secondary market to absorb older cards easier versus absorbing modern staples from Modern Masters is nowhere near the same dynamic as Eternal Masters, how they can absorb the older, rarer cards. It is not the same. The market can absorb Tarmogoyfs and Noble Hierarchs and Dark Confidants and Vendilion Cliques a lot easier because a lot more people actually want that versus it can on an Eternal Master set with old cards. Period. Because what it turns out is the market does not have the appetite nearly as strong as it does to absorb Modern Master staples as it does with Eternal staples. And we saw that by a lot of the price decreases of Wasteland. The price decreases when the set launched, the actual Force of Will itself was at 100, then 90, then 80, then 70. And at the low, Force of Will and Eternal Masters down to $50, $49.95. And of course, as supply dried up, and the second wave never came because they cut off production. So, the Force of Will and many other staples in Eternal Masters continued to drift back upwards. Wizards monitored it, and they liked what they saw. What happened after that was, well, they saw the market did absorb it, but it was a slower rate. They could not pump Eternal Masters out to the public at the same rate that they could with Modern Masters, because the absorption rate was nowhere near the same dynamic as Modern, the size and the market share and the market cap of Modern players and events and everyone around the world. So,
amazing.
My original video opinion from yesterday was that this whole thing was a cash grab, and this was going to fill the gap. They were supposed to be growth rate of here and top line sales of here. It came in here. If we do a double tap of Eternal Masters, it will fill that gap and put us at our investors' expectation, Wall Street expectation, quarterly numbers. Everything will come in line. That's kind of like the fail-safe. It's like that red rope in the middle of the room when you pull it and a bunch of underwear falls on your head, but you don't want to tell anybody. It's like that secret stash of things you do. You kind of keep it as a backup, and you don't want to hit that button unless shit hits the fan. And at first, I thought they were slamming that button. I mean, I thought they were just freaking the hell out, because they were just like, oh my god, shit's slowing. And then, something happened. So something happened on my end with information. And it turns out Wizards did not do a second print run. There is no fucking second print run. There never was a second print run. Eternal Masters is not being reprinted. It never was being reprinted. This is the most gorgeous, beautiful, perfect 10 execution I have ever seen of a corporation. I'm hesitant to use the word manipulating the market, or as a feel-good, that they're trying, that white knight who jumped over the reserved list mode. I mean, this is amazing. This is incredible. I was so angry about it at first, but I'm literally, I have to congratulate Wizards for how they're pulling this off. It's beautiful. This is incredible. If Wizards had done the second wave of Eternal Masters after a few weeks, like it did with Modern Masters, the prices would have been just crushed. The market would have been unhealthy. So what did Wizards do? They printed the same appropriate amount as they did with Modern Masters 2015, and with Eternal Masters. And they held the shit. The entire thing was held back to the public and held in the pipeline. And it was withdrawn and held. And the entire purpose was to make sure, which they knew, the market would slowly absorb it, the Eternal cards, at a slower rate, of course. And they knew they would come when they knew it felt more absorbed and accurate, and it would be towards the holidays, and they would come sailing in the White Knight with Sarah Angel, jumping over the reserved list moat, just coming right into the castle with the Alpha Crusade. And you know what? They did that. And now they chose to release the original second wave of Eternal Masters for the holidays as a great move and a great publicity stunt and a great way to boost sales. There was never a this is not a move because sales were down or cash grab or anything. This was a manipulative misdirection. You can see my hidden misdirection. This was a misdirection play that was one of the best executed things I've seen in many, many years. And it was planned from day one. This whole thing was planned from day one. I assure you, with 100% certainty, Wizards of the Coast did not turn around, spend millions of dollars to set up an entire print run with all the print sheets, the foils, the regular, the customized triangular packaging, the different type of, just the foils, the non-foils, the rarities, everything. You guys really think that Wizards is going to turn around and redo a factory and reset up the whole set? The setup cost on printing a set of any cards is the most expensive. To print an extra 50 pallets at the original printing and leaving in a warehouse is easy as shit to do. They're not going to turn around and set up a whole second print. It's not logistically feasible. It would dent their numbers. It would dent their cost of goods sold, their overhead. It would dent logistics, transporting. It would dent everything. And at the end of the day, this was all perfectly planned from the beginning. There is no second print run. They did not magically pay all this money and say, oh God, hey Bill, get in here. Get the bobs! Where the hell are the bobs? You know, they get the bobs in here. And Lumber comes strolling in on Sunday and says, yeah, we're going to need to do a second print run, and I need you guys to go ahead and pay that extra couple million and get everything set up. Yeah, that's... And the bobs say, what the fuck is your problem? We're not doing that. We're going to print an extra 50 pallets, shove it in our big-ass warehouse, leave it in the corner, and we're going to wait a few months, and we're going to come out like the damn white knight. And it's going to be right before the holidays. It's going to make LGS stores and everybody happy as shit. Because it's going to give everyone an infusion of nice cash. It's going to make the market happy. And guess what? It's going to scare the living shit out of investors and everybody that Wizards is reprinting the shit out of everything. And nothing has changed. Wizards has not changed anything. There is no, we're just going to print. These are still limited sets. Eternal Masters has not changed. The print run has not gone up. There is not a bazillion pallets, and they're not going to just turn the printing press on and pull that lever up every time they see them. That is not what happened. This is a situation where it was perfectly executed. This was misdirection. This was set up from the beginning. Why do you think there was no restock on Eternal Masters? When every single Modern Master set, the original, the 2015, and the Modern Master set coming in a couple months is going to be exactly the same and back to normal. There's going to be the release and the second wave. And the fact now that some other stores have commented about, by the way, like it's coming out November 25th, and these stores are commenting, a couple of the big ones, I haven't gotten my numbers yet of if I'm getting any extra, how many I'm getting, or what, I don't know yet. But, I mean, I found another store getting 350 boxes of Eternal Masters. Someone else is getting 150 boxes? This is no shit, and this ain't no 5-box restock. This is serious. Like, this is a big batch of inventory that was put aside to let the market handle it. If you're a CEO and your company's going to the ground, and you have 1 million shares of XYZ stock, you don't go to the market and dump 1 million shares in one day. You will crush it. You release them in blocks. You do even blocks. And you hire somebody else and you work with a team to slowly move it through the system. And that's been done on many different aspects and many different investments in Wall Street, stocks, bonds, everything. I've done it with many things over the years. I've done it with boxes, single cards, and investments. I've done it with buyout. I've done it with many things. And then guess what? The difference between an amateur buyout that hits it all at once and a professional is professional releases product to the system and does buyouts, and they do it so quietly, nobody has a clue what's really going on. And they execute a perfect score of misdirection. This is Rudy with Alpha Investments. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys, I'm not sure how many views this is going to get. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I have a funny feeling this may get quite a bit of views. That's all I have to say. I don't think anything's changed. The Magic market is going through a spell, a lull, a weakness. Modern prices, everything is very weak right now. If you have capital available, you may want to start monitoring to buy things. Everything is very weak in the Magic world right now. Credibility is very dampened and weakened with Wizards. Thank you everybody for watching. Just remember one thing. Magic's a multi-billion-dollar company. And they don't care about little things and doing goofy stuff, and they're not going to spend millions on a second print. And there is no for the fucking people. You guys have a great day.
By the holy light! Reporting for duty.
When discussing mutual funds with a prospective client, which of the following things are illegal to discuss with your client when trying to sell them on a mutual fund? A. The income yield or dividend or interest on the fund will equal your profit or your annual return. You should always buy funds to make sure you get dividends and high interest, especially if you're looking for income. Or C. It doesn't matter, my name is Timmy, please slap me in the face. This video is going to be about valuation. In this video, we're going to talk about valuing investments, valuing your Magic card collection, and quite frankly, how people cannot valuate their damn Magic cards. Every person you ask is going to give you a completely different, answer on what the value is of a Magic card. You could take a PSA 10 Tabernacle, ask 10 people, and every single person is going to give you a different answer on the value of the card I'm holding right now.
That was a mistake.
And that's what makes things complicated. And that's also what makes many Magic cards and LGS stores not stand the test of time
The victory
and go out of business because they run out of cash flow, because they end up tying up inventory on what they feel is a good investment or a good item to sell or flip online. And it turns out they end up losing their ass. So, this video is going to be focused around what I like to call NAV in financial terms, which is net asset value, or kind of the fair market value, depending what term you use, kind of that NAV, kind of what are things really worth. Well, I like to break things down to three categories. One of which, you have individuals who buy and sell Magic cards and kind of collect and play the game. You have the average Magic player. And number two, you have store owners, LGSs, and stores that are just trying to make a damn living.
My hammer burns with
And of course, three,
fire.
you have the investors. The deep, dark, dirty investors of the card world, the hobby world, and every other pretty much segment of society there is. Whether you want to acknowledge it, you don't like it, doesn't matter. It exists, so I'm going to talk about it. So,
Hello.
I'm gonna go back to, for example, on a card. You can take any $100 Magic card, and you ask an individual Magic player, and he's gonna tell you that card's worth $100. You go to the store and say, hey, I want to sell my card. What's it worth? We'll give you 50. What? You go to the investor, and he's telling you how much money he has invested. Oh, I got this $150 card over here. I got $150 invested. And those are the three main pools of people, and all three of these people have such a wide variance of things that they believe are worth and value, and that's what creates the disparity in the
So now that we have confirmation that Vegito is coming back to Dragon Ball Super, the one thing I've been getting hit up with on Twitter and on Instagram and Facebook, all over social media, constantly and in the comments, has been Vegito versus Beerus. Everyone's been talking about this. People have been asking, will it happen? People have been asking, if it does happen, can Vegito finally beat Beerus? Well, I don't know for sure if Vegito versus Beerus is going to happen. Not enough evidence yet. But the question of Super Saiyan Blue Vegito beating Beerus is very intriguing, and on this video, I want to go ahead and cover that. Now, obviously, I'm looking for other people's opinions on this as well, but before you leave your comments, I want to just ask you to please watch the video and watch all the points that I make, and then let me know in the comments if you agree, or if you don't agree. It's okay if you disagree, but I am curious to get the entire community's opinions on this. But like I said, first, check out the points I make. Let's go ahead and start this thing. So in my opinion, the only way to truly properly cover this is to actually analyze the series from all points of view and to clear away any sort of misconceptions that some people may have and try to streamline the discussion as simple as possible. Now, it's no secret that I'm not a power scaling expert. That's not what I'm an expert in doing. I leave that to other channels such as Dragon Ball Nation, Laughing Stock Media, Seth the Programmer, Geek Lister, and keep an eye out on their channels because I have a feeling that some of those guys are going to do their own versions of this topic. With my video, I want to look at all the evidence presented and figure this out the best possible way. Now, obviously the power scaling in Dragon Ball, starting with the Buu Saga, is kind of a mess, so we have to do the best that we can do with the information presented. The first thing I want to focus on is how strong Vegito is. I feel like a lot of people in the community completely underestimate the power of Potara Fusion. It's not just the fact that the Elder Kai states that Potara Fusion is better and more potent than the original traditional Finger Fusion, but also the fact that when you Potara fuse, you essentially create a brand new person, and it's permanent fusion with a stable body. So therefore, all of the weaknesses that Gotenks had maintaining his SS3 transformation don't apply to Vegito because Potara fusion is supposed to be permanent. Now, one thing that people have to take into account is the power of Potara Fusion. And yes, I feel like the fusion is somewhat underestimated even by some of the official material. The Dragon Ball Daizenshuu state that Potara Fusion is a multiplier of Person A times Person B's power. However, to me, that doesn't really seem accurate whatsoever, and I'm a little bit skeptical. If you go back to Dragon Ball Z, when Goku and Vegeta were fighting Majin Buu, both of them individually had absolutely no chance of even landing a dent on this guy. But once they fused to make Vegito, it was literally a one-sided thrashing, especially in the anime. Majin Buu had absolutely no chance of beating Vegito, and during the fight, Vegito makes it clear to Buu over and over and over again that he's toying with him. Now, this has of course led to a misconception in the community that Vegito is not as powerful as he seems because he was goofing off and that he's cocky. No, the reason why Vegito was goofing off is because Vegito wanted to get purposely absorbed in order for Goku and Vegeta to get Goten, Trunks, Gohan, and Piccolo out of Buu. That was the entire reason why they were aggravating Buu. It's actually said to us several times during that fight that despite Buu absorbing Gohan with his mystic power and creating Buuhan, Vegito could have legitimately obliterated, I'm using the T enunciation part here, he could have obliterated Buuhan any single time that he wanted to without blinking an eye. In fact, theoretically speaking, we never actually see an SS3 Vegito, but because Goku knew the form and Goten and Trunks didn't know the form, that hypothetically speaking, SS3 Vegito could have existed. So we never saw Vegito in DBZ at full power. In fact, you could even theorize that he wasn't even using 50% of his power against Buu. I'm not saying that for certain, I'm saying you could theorize it because of how simple he dominated this freaking guy. In the original 42 volumes of the manga, Vegito was the most powerful character we had ever seen. That's before Battle of Gods and before anything else. Now, when we get to Battle of Gods, it gets very interesting because in Battle of Gods, there are 2 points that are made. One is that Goku states after losing to Beerus that there's no way that they could defeat Beerus even with fusion. Now, Goku does not make it clear which kind of fusion he's talking about, but he's basically stating that even if they fused, they could not beat Beerus. To me, that's always been a little bit hard to swallow, but most of that's based on the fact that Vegito was so impressive against Buu, and perhaps I'm underestimating the true power of Beerus, and also the fact that Goku had just lost the fight and was probably a little bit groggy, but still, he doesn't believe that fusion would work. So as we continue on with the story, Goku manages to unlock Super Saiyan God and fights Beerus in an epic battle, and in the movie version of the event, Whis makes a line about how Beerus used 70% of his power. Now this again has been very much misconstrued by a lot of the Dragon Ball fans. Beerus did not use 70% of his power during the entire fight, only during the final moments of that fight when he threw that gigantic blast at Goku, which was not in the TV version. That was not in that version whatsoever. And right around the same time when the movie was out, there was interviews that were conducted with Akira Toriyama himself, and he had invented this scale for all the new characters, and I've seen this scale come up so many times in arguments lately that I have to address it. In the scale, Toriyama said that via his power scale, God Goku was a 6, Beerus is a 10, and Whis is a 15. One must remember that Toriyama said this during the Battle of Gods movie era, which was 2.5 years ago, and at that time, there were no plans at all to continue the series. So when Resurrection F was announced that came out, we then discovered that there were higher levels of power that Goku could attain as Goku and Vegeta unlocked Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, later called Super Saiyan Blue, and we saw Golden Frieza. Now in that film, Golden Frieza power-wise was stronger than SS Blue, but his stamina is what cost him that fight. That was stated in both the movie and in the adaptation in Dragon Ball Super, that Frieza's big problem was his stamina. Now the fact that Goku was able to surpass his God form and get to a higher level of power with SS Blue confused a lot of fans, because then they started to wonder if the scale that Toriyama had come up with was still in play, in which case would Goku now be a 6.5 or a 7? Would he be an 8? Would Beerus still be a 10? And when Toriyama said that Beerus was a 10, did he mean 70% Beerus or 100% Beerus? Again, we don't know, which is why, again, I believe that that 6, 10, 15 scale no longer applies since Resurrection F. Throw that out of your mind, it no longer applies. Now, speaking of Toriyama interviews, recently during the promotion of the Future Trunks arc, Toriyama stated that he does not believe that Goku and Vegeta will surpass Beerus at all, and he thinks they have a long way to go. He doesn't see them surpassing Beerus. Now understand, when he's talking about Goku and Vegeta surpassing Beerus, he's talking about individually. Nowhere in that interview did Toriyama ever say anything about fusion or any of that. He just doesn't think that Goku and Vegeta has surpassed Beerus. Again, this one's kind of hard to swallow for a lot of people. For me, I get it. But for some, it's really hard to imagine that Goku's not at least approaching Beerus's power for several reasons. Number one, Goku and Vegeta have been training their asses off non-stop, and every time we see them fight in Dragon Ball Super, they're getting stronger and stronger. We just saw Goku Black thrash Vegeta in their previous fight, and in their rematch, Vegeta had his way with him. Vegeta always is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Goku and Vegeta also train in the Room of Spirit and Time, significantly increasing their power. Plus, during the fight with Hit, Goku unleashes the 10 times SS Blue Kaioken, a move that he states he was saving for the rematch with Beerus, and even Beerus himself starts to sweat a little bit. I don't think this was an accident. In addition to that, even though we've seen Goku and Vegeta train and get stronger and stronger and stronger, we have not even gotten a hint, even a remote hint of Beerus training. We can just presume that Beerus is his all-powerful character, but we don't know if he's even gotten stronger than he was during Battle of Gods. I mean, the guy doesn't train. We haven't even gotten hints of him training. So I feel like the series is telling us that even though Beerus is more powerful, that Goku and Vegeta are approaching him at a rapid speed. Not saying they're going to surpass him anytime soon, but the gap is undoubtedly closing. I mean, and not just that, but recently on Dragon Ball Super, we've actually seen Goku's Kamehameha actually hold off Merge Zamasu's blast for a little while. I mean, that's a fused character, and Goku was able to hold him back by himself. Therefore, if you take all of those points and put them together, talking about the power of Potara, the power of SS Blue, the consistent training of Goku and Vegeta, and how they've been able to surpass their limits, I truly find it very, very hard to believe that Super Saiyan Blue Vegito is not at least physically more powerful than Beerus. It's just almost impossible for me to accept that, and I feel like if the writers want to tell us otherwise, it's just more bad power scaling, because the power of fusion combined with all the training they've done, I just don't see how Beerus can possibly have a chance. But we're talking about pure power. There are other factors here. Number one, we know that Vegito has a weakness. This is, of course, based on spoilers that have come out, but we don't know exactly what that weakness is. And even if we do find out, does that really mean that Beerus would find out if they were to ever fight? Number two, one thing that also has to be taken into account is that fights aren't just about power. Not only does Beerus have numerous Hapkido techniques and pressure point knowledge that he could apply in the fight, but also we don't even know the true extent of the God of Destruction power. We've seen Beerus not only deflect ki and neutralize ki, we've seen him legitimately wipe away planets with one finger. So even though I think that Vegito's probably capable of doing these same feats, we don't know what kind of powers the God of Destruction has and abilities that Vegito's never seen before, because we've never seen Beerus that has full potential, and to be honest, we've never even seen Vegito at his full potential. So with all that being said, even though I'm not a power scaling pro, when you do power scale the simplest way with the simplest, most definitive logic, it's just impossible to think otherwise. I will be revisiting this topic in a few days, probably with a community response video, talking to all you guys over on the Facebook, which is facebook.com/geekdom101. Keep an eye out on my Facebook, because I'll be dropping a status update about it very soon, and I will follow up and kind of give more thoughts on this in the future. That's all I got for you today. Let me know, do you think that Vegito, with the information that I've provided in this video and what we know so far, can SS Blue Vegito beat Beerus? Thank you for watching. Talk to y'all
My
later.
hammer burns with holy fire.
Who is ready for Dragon Ball Super episode 66? Easily one of the most anticipated episodes. And I said that last week too, but it just keeps building and building upon itself. One of the most anticipated episodes that we've ever seen here. We have got a lot to talk about, guys. There's a lot of stuff to talk about here as I give you my prediction and breakdown of Dragon Ball Super episode 66. The next episode preview and what we can expect, and I definitely want to get the conversation rolling down in the comment section so I can read all you guys' thoughts as well. So they kind of sprung a surprise on us, okay? Because if you look at the original TV guide preview for this episode, which I'm going to show you guys right here from Herms, Showdown, the Unyielding Warriors' Miraculous Power, Goku and Vegeta have their backs to the wall. What strategy do they use to challenge Zamasu? There's no mention of fusion here, to the point where last week I had people saying, oh, fusion's not happening, you know, which is kind of funny because it's like, dude, can't you wait? Have some patience, you know? But, you know what I mean? People want things like right away. You gotta wait for these things. And they didn't give us any hints of fusion at all. Like, they gave us the clues that were in the episodes. I outlined them in the 5, you know, clues that Vegito versus Black is going to happen, which is actually kind of funny because it ended up being Vegito versus Zamasu, but Zamasu is Black, so what's the difference? But anyways, we didn't get any clues about the fusion happening in episode 66, but I did think it was going to happen eventually. Well, the preview comes up, the next episode preview, and all of a sudden, it's everywhere. But what's strange about it is in Goku's commentary, there's like no mention of it. So I'm wondering if like somebody at Toei, like, I'm just wondering if like there was a miscommunication. Like maybe somebody was told, okay, don't show Vegito at all till the very end of the trailer. And then whoever cut up the trailer, like the video part of it, was like, screw this, I'm going to show Vegito the entire time, because that was weird. All right, we're going to get into it here. Vegito is indeed, SS Blue Vegito is indeed going to be in next week's episode of Dragon Ball Super. And boy, is the whole world hyped for this one. Of course, check out Harry Price, you know, our friend. Let's go ahead and get into this thing, all right? We're going to go frame by frame because there's a lot of weird stuff I want to cover, and there's a lot of things that I'm really curious about what some of you guys have to say about. So let's go ahead and do it. All right, now, first frame, it's Vegito without question. There he is, and he goes. This awesome scene right here goes SS Blue. We have been getting hints of Vegito, of fusion, Potara fusion, since all the way back in the Universe 6 arc, when we found out that the Supreme Kai and Kibito had defused. And I remember I did a video with Rhymestyle saying, does this mean we'll see fusion? Because now that they defused, it gives them a reason to bring back the Potara fusion because of, you know, it's a plot convenience. Now, I know some of you guys were wondering, I know some of you guys were like, hey, didn't the old Kai say you can only fuse once in your lifetime? Yes, he did. But I believe he was referring to that pair of Potara. These Potara that Vegito has in Super are completely different than the ones that they had in the Buu arc. So that's what I think the explanation is, that it's a different pair of Potara. You can't reuse the same Potara. But I do find it interesting, though, and that's me putting the piece together. It's not actually said in the series. I do find interesting, though, that they do just go ahead and just jump to Vegito right from the start, and he is, of course, SS Blue. People have been waiting for this for how long? Can you imagine the power that this super god Vegito has? The thing is, guys, I'm gonna find it very hard to swallow. Honestly, I find it very hard to swallow that this version of Vegito with SS Blue is not stronger than Beerus. I'm not saying that individually Goku and Vegeta could defeat Beerus, because they probably can't. But fused as Vegito, I don't see how, with the power of the Potara multiplier, I don't see how they don't win that fight. I really don't. Excuse me. And it's one of those things where Like, you know, I did a video called Fusions Explained on Dragon Ball In Depth. Check that video out where I explained the different kinds of fusion, the finger fusion, the Namekian assimilation, and the Potara fusion. And even though the guidebook states that the Potara fusion is, you know, person 1 times person 2, the fact that Vegito was so freaking powerful. Vegito is the most powerful character in the original 42 volumes of the manga, aka Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, before Battle of Gods, before, like, when the series first ran, you know, not including GT, because I think SS4 Gogeta is way stronger because of the SS4 multiplier. Vegito is so freaking strong, and now with the added God Key and the years of training that Goku and Vegeta have undertaken, I just don't see how this guy can't murk Beerus. Let me know your thoughts down below if you think that. Let's keep going. Now, okay, there's some really weird stuff here. So we see here Harvey Two-Face, aka Zamasu. Something weird is going on with his body. Take a look at this shot right here. You've got like half his body's become sludge and the other half is regular. Now, there's been a couple of fan theories I've been reading on Twitter about this. One person stated that the reason why this is happening is because they did the Potara fusion while Goku Black was in his Super Saiyan Rose form. Now, why? Some folks might wonder, what does that mean? Well, back in the day in Dragon Ball Z, Elder Kai also said, don't transform before you fuse. Fuse and then transform later if you want, which is what Vegito did. And there was talk back then about how if you fuse while transformed, it's an unstable, like there's a lack of stability. But we never actually saw what the consequences were. You know what I mean? We never actually saw like what he really meant by that. So I found it interesting that that could be a possibility of what's going on here. Another theory that I heard is that when Zamasu wished him for himself to be immortal, it only worked for half of him. We now have confirmation that this version of Zamasu is immortal, but maybe there's some kind of weird loophole. And again, I'm just spitballing here, where only half his body is immortal and the Goku Black side of things is not. Because this is very strange. Or could this be a technique or a move? I don't know. But it looks freaking creepy, dude. It looks like a different anime right now, yo. So Goku says Zamasu's really super strong. I love this shot right here of the time ring. I love how he does the flip, and there's the time ring. And if you guys remember, Goku Black was the one wearing the time ring. So this further, you know, talks about the possibility of that being the case. You know, Goku Black nullifying the immortality. So this okay, first of all, the animation here looks incredible. It's almost like a different series. This is like, this shot right here is so One Punch Man-esque. Like, this episode might end up being the best animated episode of Super we've ever seen. Like, just based on the preview, if they can do it this good when we actually watch it. It looks incredible. There's Vegito again, even though it's really tough. And it's weird because it's Goku doing the next episode preview, and there's literally no mention in anything Goku says about fusion. Like I said, I wonder if somebody at Toei like got confused or something. I don't know, or maybe they didn't get the memo. This shot right here, so Vegito powers up, Blue shoots this, look at this, bam! Like, dude, what the fuck? Like, is this like the Big Bang Kamehameha? I don't think it is, but look at this Kamehameha. It's blue with like yellow electricity coming out of it. Dude, that's so fucking raw, bro. That is so raw. Look at this thing. He fires it and it's got a yellow aura like twirling around it like a damn ice cream cone, man. How you that strong? Wow. It looks like our attacks might be having an effect after all. So another theory is that Vegito actually is strong enough to hurt Zamasu's body. He might not be able to kill him, but he might be able to hurt him, and thus that's why he's half, you know, purple or whatever. He's firing that shot at Zamasu, right? Looks like he hurt him. Huge explosion right here. There's Vegito right there. Bro, Vegito, I cannot wait to see Vegito again because, bro, Vegito, okay, let me lay something out for a lot of Dragon Ball fans, so-called Dragon Ball fans. There's people out there who really misinterpret that Buu Saga fight with Vegito. Vegito could have killed Majin Buu any single time that he wanted. The reason why he didn't do it, because there's even a scene, and if you watch Dragon Ball Z again, watch it. There's a scene where he takes a piece of Buu's body and destroys it into a million pieces, and he's like, I can kill you any time that I want, which is gangsta. That is man, that's scary, bro. You have somebody tell you that shit in real life, I can kill you, your life is in my hands. Damn, dude, frightening. But think about that, like, He could have killed him anytime he wanted to, but he didn't because he actually was purposely fucking with Boo so that Boo would absorb him so that Goku and Vegeta can go inside and free Goten, Trunks, Gohan, and Piccolo. That's why Vegito didn't just kill Boo. He wanted to go inside to free the kids. But Vegito could have killed Boo anytime he wanted. He was that much stronger. Boo did not even scratch Vegito in that fight. However, in this fight with God Zamasu, this Zamasu, Bird Zamasu, is way stronger than Boo. So for the first time, guys, we're going to see Vegito get challenged, and that's exciting to me. We're going to see Fusion versus Fusion for the first time. I'm hyped. So right here we have another awesome scene. So Vegito doing the instantaneous movement. Look at that pissed off look on his face, like, and he's got cuts all over him. Guys, Vegito is struggling. This is the most powerful character in the original manga, and this guy is struggling against Zamasu. Oh, I can't wait. I'm sorry I'm fanboying out right now. I can't wait. Let's keep going. All right, this shot right here. Look at this freaking kick, bro. Look at this. Look at this. Bam, bro. Who's your daddy, Zamasu? I'm gonna be saying that next week. Right in the mouth, bro. Here comes Vegito again. And Zamasu's like, yo. And he's freaking out. And he does the Psionic Blade. I don't know. I can't wait to see the Psionic Blade against the Spirit Sword. Big explosion right there. Look at this. Look at these shots, guys. These action shots. They're fighting throughout the city. He's coming at him. Bro, this could legitimately be, based on the little things that we have, if the whole episode looks like this could legitimately be one of the most badass episodes in all of Dragon Ball. I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z, GT, and Super. That's badass, bro. Next time on Dragon Ball Super, there's Vegito throwing punches. Climactic battle, the miraculous power of a relentless warrior. Now, this one quick correction here. Senshitachi is warriors, plural, so I think that they meant to type warriors and forgot the S, because the warriors are Goku Vegeta or Vegito, and then of course we've got Zamasu. So let's keep going here. Big explosion. Now this scene right here, guys, he's holding our boy down. He's mushing his face in and grabbing that whatever that his left arm is, or his right arm is all mangled, like, who's your daddy now, bro? And then what is going on here, dude? His eye like turns red, like this is like a different anime, and then blasts up, just charges up, and Vegito's knocked on his ass. Look at that. What the hell's going on, man? Look at that shot. Hang on. Ugh. Hold on. I got all right here. Come on, dude. I'm trying to pause it at the right time. Look at that, bro. Like, I don't even know what to say anymore, bro. But again, those of you who prognosticated Vegito's return, you are great at that, and we're seeing it here. This is going to be an epic fight. Vegito will actually be challenged. SS Blue Vegito is real. Get ready to start buying those SH Figuarts toys. Get ready for some possible Xenoverse 2 downloadable content. I can't wait. Anyways, before I go, guys, I want to real quick plug the thumbnail that was done by Asham, my buddy. If I mispronounce your name again, I apologize, bro. I'm going to put a link in the description down below so you guys can talk to him. He does custom Dragon Ball art, really good prices. So if you're looking for like posters and things like that, if you're looking for custom art, Dragon Ball custom art that looks badass, that's the man to talk to. I will put a link in the description to his Twitter so you can contact him. He does take commissions. Hit him up. Say, hey, draw me this. Ask him whatever you want. Say, draw me Goku Black taking a dookie, and he'll draw it. I'm telling you what's happening. So do that. Thanks again for supporting the channel. Subscribe if you haven't, guys. I will talk to you guys down the road. I can't wait for Dragon Ball Super 66. I can't wait. Damn.
duty. Into the breach!
Burn.
Get down! Time waits for no one. Spectacular.
Burn.
Shields up. Red alert. Shields up. Red alert.
Reporting for duty.
The Ancient One calls.
Your win, friend. I can